Now we turn to the efforts to promote school choice in Arizona. The State House's GOP majority leader says they have claimed a major victory for families to choose education that is best for their children. We get the details surrounding this and some of the pros and cons from our next guest. Joining us now is Corey DeAngelis, Senior Fellow at the American Federation for Children. Corey is considered one of the leading school choice advocates in the country. Pleasure having you on the show, Corey.
Hey, thank you.
Arizona's historic universal school voucher program seems to be moving ahead. This is after a petition to block the law appealed to fall short on Monday. This means Arizona parents seeking to use taxpayer dollars for private and homeschooling can join the sign-up list. What impact will this have on academics, broadly speaking?
Well, this is huge. This is the biggest school choice victory in U.S. history. The teachers' unions have really overplayed their hand and awakened a sleeping giant, parents who just want more of a say in their kids' education. But this will obviously lead to better academic outcomes because families, parents know their kids' educational needs and they care about their kids more than anybody else, certainly more than any bureaucrat sitting in offices hundreds of miles away. Tons of evidence that this will actually lead to better outcomes in the public schools too because of competition. 25 of the 28 studies on the topic, statistically significant positive effects of private school choice competition on the outcomes in the public schools too. So this is a rising boats. It's a win-win scenario, more freedom, more choice, and better outcomes.
That is interesting that you mentioned public schools. Now, opponents of these kind of vouchers say they funnel money away from already struggling public schools and benefit middle-class families who, in many cases, already have access to good public schools. What's your reaction to this?
Money doesn't belong to the government schools. Education funding is meant for educating children, not for propping up and protecting a particular institution. And by the way, why would giving families a choice defund or funnel money away from the public schools? If they're doing it, they would keep all the money. If you like your public school, you can keep your public school. That they make this argument is an admission that they believe families aren't happy with what they're getting in the current system. That's an argument for choice, not against it. And think about Arizona and the way the funding formula works. With this program, the ESA, the Empowerment Scholarship Account, families get to take the state the education provider of their choosing. Again, that could be the public school, a charter school, a private school, or home-based education option. That's only about $7,000. The government-run school spends about $14,000 per student on average in Arizona. They get to keep the local funding and the federal funding. So on a per-student basis, when families leave schools using the school choice program, leave the public schools, those public schools get to keep thousands of dollars for students that are no longer educating. So mathematically, on a per-student basis, they end up with higher purchases and expenditures. Again, this is a win-win scenario.
Well, thanks for laying out those arguments. It seems like it's very reasonable. Now, for example, if Arizona does take up this voucher program, would this cause a chain reaction leading other states to adopt this type of initiative?
Yeah, and we're already seeing friendly competition, particularly among red states. School choice is a Republican Party platform issue, and Arizona was able to get it done with the slimmest of majorities. They have one-seat Republican majorities in the House and in the Senate, and they have a Republican governor, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, and they were able to get it done. And look, Governor Abbott in Texas, for example, is already leading school choice more than he ever has before, and he said that this session will be the biggest, most swiftest, most powerful push for school choice in Texas history. I met with him just a month or two ago, and he seemed confident and supportive of school choice. And he said that back in January, that this would be the biggest push for school choice. In Iowa, you see Governor Reynolds leading on the issue of parental rights in education. She is a staunch advocate for school choice, so all eyes on Iowa next session too. They should be able to get an education savings account program as well.
And we're certainly going to be watching how this all unfolds. Corey DeAngelis, the American Federation for Children, great speaking with you today.